Welcome to the Man Cave Media Network and the Downeast Prep Report with Chris Miller, brought to you by Marine Federal Credit Union. I'm your host, Steve Goodson, and along with Chris, we're joined this week by special guest Blake Moses, senior linebacker from Jacksonville High School, and his head coach, Bo Williams. Fellas, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, sir.
We're going to start and recap last week's slate, small slate last week. Then we're going to jump over and talk to Blake about his football journey in Jacksonville High School football and have a couple questions for Bo. And then we'll roll back into Chris's breakdowns of this week's matchup, full slate this week. Is anybody not playing?
Lejeune and Richlands.
Well, Lejeune played last night, and we'll talk about that. But, okay, so Richlands is off. And then, of course, we'll have his official predictions. So Friday Night Lights are coming, and it's local football, and it's all right here at Downeast Prep Report. And again, we want to thank our show sponsor, Marine Federal Credit Union. At Marine Federal, you're more than just a member. You're part of a community with personalized service, competitive rates, and a commitment to your goals. Marine Federal is here to help you thrive every step of the way. Visit marinefederal.org to learn more and discover how Marine Federal Credit Union can help you build a better financial future. And I want to thank Jeff Clark and his folks at Marine Federal. They're awesome folks, and obviously could not do this show without them. And so we appreciate their support of the community, and we appreciate their support of high school athletics in our county. So we're going to kick off the recap real quick. Like I said, small slate from last Friday night, and we're actually going to include a game from this week's schedule, and we'll talk about that when we get there. So with that said, let's go to the player of the week. It's going to show right here, Chris. Sorry, buddy. Player of the week, Andrew Boucher. Is that right? Boucher? Boucher. Oh, like Bobby Boucher.
Yeah.
Okay. Andrew Boucher. Junior running back, Croatan High School. You wouldn't think a player of the week unless he played defense, but he plays offense, would be a player of the week in a 14-7 win. But Andrew had 28 carries, 96 rushing yards, 4 catches for 42 yards. I guess as important, he scored the winning touchdown on a 12-yard run late in the third quarter. So did it play out like you thought?
Well, originally, somebody, I guess, hacked into the Croatan's Max Preps that night, Friday night, because somebody else was keeping me posted and said, yeah, Havelock's up 30-7 in the first quarter. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe Havelock came to play and Croatan isn't as good as we thought. And I ended up posting the score on Twitter and then had everybody and their mama come, oh, no, that's wrong. We haven't even started yet. So, great win for Croatan. Obviously, Havelock isn't where we're used to seeing. I mean, Jacksonville knows full well how good Havelock is, but they're just very young this year. And Croatan made the plays, down 7-0 early at halftime, and came back and made the plays they needed to and to win the game. Had a goal, basically a goal line stand at the end of the game to win.
You didn't go to the game, did you?
No.
Did you go to the beach?
No, I went to.
I know East Carolina played Thursday, and I asked, but you didn't go there. Your daughter was playing volleyball, right?
Yep, my daughter was playing volleyball. I stayed home and watched the Florida State-Virginia game.
Yeah, and I've learned the hard way not to text Bill Wins when ECU's playing.
Well, that was an interesting game with Florida State and Virginia. I don't just off topic. You think that was more of that said more about Florida State, or it said more about Virginia?
I think Virginia, but at the same time, Florida State's quarterback was talking about Miami the week before, and that kind of backfired on him.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think that I think everybody's kind of taking it as a Florida State thing, but this is Tony Elliott's, third or fourth year or something?
I think it's
third year, and that's when you kind of start seeing some movement. He's got the portal, with the quarterback.
Yep, he's got some players.
Yeah. So anyway,
Blake, did y'all go to any games on Friday?
No, we went to Bubba's and watched the.
Good deal. All right, the player of the week is brought to you by Downeast Heating and Air Conditioning. Jason Humphrey and his folks. Downeast Heating and Air Conditioning, a family tradition of quality since 1986, with locations in Jacksonville, Wilmington, and North Myrtle Beach. Downeast is the #1 Bryant dealer of the Carolinas. Home office, garage, man cave, and yes, even a basement here. Downeast has the perfect system to help you stay comfortable during the football season. Head over to downeastheating.com and let Downeast put their talents to work for you. So let's continue on with the rest of the recap of last week. Like I said, small schedule. We had the Croatan Havelock game. Northside 43, Richland. So Richland's pretty happy to have a break this week.
Yeah, the open date comes at a good time for the Wildcats, but I mean, credit Northside. They came to play and took care of business pretty early, and which I thought they would. I think they're pretty motivated this year, and they had their best team in recent years. I mean, they lost to Jacksonville, and Jacksonville was just too strong for them. But week 2, coach. But Northside's playing well, and I think they have a chance to win that conference now that we see what Croatan and Havelock has.
Yeah. Richland's fourth? They won opening week, and then they've lost 4 or 5 now in a row.
5 straight, yep.
5 straight, and Northside won first week, lost to Jacksonville second week, and they've rolled off 3 or 4 wins now. So a good time to come for a break for the Wildcats. West Carteret 26, Dixon 25. I thought there was going to be a gazillion points scored in that game. So I guess the defense showed up for at least half the game. Last year it was 51-49, I think. Mm-hmm. This year 26-25. Yeah. Much about it?
Wasn't that West Carteret Swansboro?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. You are right. That is a mistake on my part. West Carteret's right.
Fired.
I'm fired.
No.
I
thought that one was high scoring.
It was. That is a mistake on my part. That should be West Carteret and Swansboro. So, my bad. So you want to talk about that? My bad.
Well, I mean, if Swansboro continues to play hard, and they have 2 wins already. I mean, this is their second loss this season by a touchdown or less. So they could easily have 4 wins if chips fell in their way. But they continue to play hard, and I know they're probably a little discouraged after that tough loss. They had their chances to put that game away, and West Carteret just found the way to win that late. So if you're Rodney Beasley and Swansboro, I think you're going to continue trying to get the most out of your guys and see if you can maybe play spoiler in the conference.
Coach, you got any other? Close losses?
Me?
About Swansboro or teams with close losses. I mean, they seem to have several close losses.
I mean, he's trying to build his culture to learn how to win.
Is this his
second year?
It takes a while to get the kids to learn how to win. So, I mean, it looks like he's doing a good job.
Yeah. Okay. Last game from last week, Liberty and Sandhills. What it said, you had written no contest. What is that means? So did they start the game?
They started the game. Well, the game started a little bit later, and here's literally it was a crappy reason because it was their homecoming, and they had a dog and they had horses on the field during their homecoming ceremonies before the game,
and they had to clean up.
And the horses did handle their business on the field, so the game was so the game was delayed a little bit. They played a few minutes, and lightning came and couldn't continue and won't make it up.
All right. So postponed by Mother Nature and Animal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Animal Nature.
Okay. And you see down at the bottom, Northside Pinetown 48, Lejeune 0. That was a game actually scheduled for this coming Friday night, but I mean, look, this is not a political show. Politics infest high school football, right?
Obviously.
Yeah. So they got the game in because there's potential. Actually, there is. I got up this morning and was looking at the local news, the TV news before I went to the gym and worked out, and they have started officially the shutdown as of today, October 1st. So we don't know if Lejeune. So they moved the game from Friday to last night. I think the volleyball probably got moved up. I don't know. Volleyball was scheduled to play.
Play last night.
Yeah.
Cross country.
Yeah.
Moved their meet from Wednesday to Tuesday as well.
So all the athletic events, at least they got the kids, to be able to play one more game. They don't. The status is TBD, right? And just depending on what happens with the government
Well, because
shutdown.
it's a government school, teachers are still required to show up, but they won't get paid until, which is unfortunate. And because high school sports and bus drivers are, you have after school bus drivers are deemed not essential. There's nothing they can do, so they're not going to be able to play any sports, which is very unfortunate for the kids and how hard they're working. Because the very unfortunate thing is the Lejeune soccer team has a chance to go pretty far in their playoffs, and their cross country team, boys cross country, has won the state 1A championship the last 2 years, and maybe have a chance to win another one this year.
So, do you know are the games forfeited? Like football, obviously you got games following up. Soccer, they play 13 times a week or whatever, or up to 3 times, I know. Will the soccer games potentially be able to be rescheduled?
Well, they're hoping that
if something happens.
If something happens, they're hoping that these games will be rescheduled, but they are petitioning the state to not don't make us have these forfeit losses if we can't make them up. We're able to continue. So they're petitioning the state to see if they can work something out, because if they are able to continue, they don't want all these losses on their.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, so that's unfortunate. So not to offend anybody watching or not to offend, but that sucks. It sucks. It sucks for the kids. And in the end, that's what it's about, right? It's about the kids, and it sucks. So with that said, that's it for the recap. Like I said, short week. We're going to move into rapid fire real quick. You guys are, Bo, just like last time. Blake, if you want to answer, you're more than welcome to answer. No bulletin board material, I don't think.
Yeah.
But we'll go from there. Rapid fire. Bigger play. Andrew Boucher's 12-yard TD run for the win, or Ethan DeMercurio. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Hey, man. Why can't it be Smith? Ethan DeMercurio's 3 sacks and forced fumble. Bigger play.
I would say the 3 sacks and the forced fumble.
Blake, you obviously say 3 sacks and 4 as a defensive player, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. And I feel like a fumble in the game, no matter what it is very
changes
everything.
Changes the landscape. More clutch. Cannon McBride's 5-yard TD pass. Well, I know where you guys are coming. 5-yard TD pass to Riley Robinson, or Croatan's defensive holding they held on 1st and goal late in the 4th quarter.
I would say the defensive stop. Now, Hallock didn't do itself any favors. They had 3 penalties that I think a holding and a couple 5-yard penalties, false starts. But nonetheless, Croatan defense did what it needed to do and got the stop. So I would say the stop right there.
Obviously, defensive players.
Absolutely.
Defensive.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Okay. Who deserves the game ball? McBride, Boucher, or DeMercurio?
Well, we made Boucher Player of the Week, but
Yeah.
I would still give the game ball to him, because look, you ran the ball 28 times for 96 yards.
Yeah, I was seeing the yards per average. That's
But in that type of game, that's
Yeah.
you kept Havelock's offense off the field by churning those yards, and but I would give half the ball to Ethan and half the ball to Boucher, because I think they both kids kind of complemented each other.
Coach, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this one.
I say defense.
Defense.
It's 14-7. You got a big win. Your offense did enough to win.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they're not happy with their offensive performance, but they held Havelock down, so I would have to say that.
My coach, and the yards per carry obviously was not substantial, but my old coach Zavone, when we were at White Oak, used to say, boys, 3 times 4 is what? 12.
Mm-hmm.
First down. Mm-hmm. That's if you go for it on 4th down. But that's what he used to say. So if you could average at least 3 yards a carry.
Yep.
Well, if you think about it, you only need 2.5 yards.
Hey, that's a good point. What's the bigger story? Croatan 6-0 or Havelock 1-5?
Whew, that's That is a tough one. Croton's never been 6-0. They've been 4-0 and 5-0 in years past. But
Has Havelock ever been 1-5? We'd have to go back and look.
It's been a while. Well, there were years where Havelock was struggling back in the mid 2000s and before they kind of got their act together. So I think that's after Wilbur left for a few years, if I'm not mistaken. So they did have some struggling years, but look, they're young. I mean, they're very young in some key positions, but I would still say Havelock is the bigger story going. I thought Croatan had a chance to be pretty decent this year.
Boys?
I'd have to say Havelock. I mean, you wouldn't think they would fall that far.
Yeah.
They're one or two players away, I think, from what I've heard. Hadn't seen much on them. We were supposed to scrimmage them, but didn't. But I'm thinking it's more like they're missing a quarterback a little bit, and
They normally have a kid playing quarterback that's
I think they brought up a freshman,
okay.
and now he's playing.
Yeah, they just haven't been the same since y'all beat them in the playoffs last year.
I don't know about that.
See, man, he tries to bait you, man.
He does.
I'm not like that. Okay.
No, you're a good person. Man. Chris is he's a news guy.
All right. Who impressed more? Reginald Gray's 210 yards passing and 2 TDs, or Rayla Anderson? Is that how you say it? Rayla Anderson's 106 rushing yards and 2 TDs.
I would say Reginald Gray, because he got a lot of his success early in the first half, and then Anderson was able to kind of turn those yards in the second half to put the game away. But I think the offense, Northside's offense, goes with Gray. He's only a sophomore. He does pretty well, but he's if he plays well, Northside's offense plays well.
All right. More dangerous. I'm sorry. Highlight of the night. Gray's 64-yard strike to Matthew Smoot, or Anderson's 16-yard run right before the half.
Well, anytime the deep ball, that's more exciting. And that it's a big momentum boost. And but like I said, Northside just played well all across the board, all sides of the ball Friday night against Richlands. And but definitely the deep pass was the play of the game.
Does this say more about and this is off the cuff? Does this say more about Northside's offense or Richlands' defense? Because going into up until this week and last 2 or 3 weeks, we talked about Richlands' defense being stopping teams or keeping games close. So does this tell you more about Northside's offense?
I would say so. I think that they just have a lot of weapons offensively, and now they're establishing a little bit of a run game in recent games, and just credit Jacksonville, because Jacksonville did what they needed to do in week 2 against the Monarchs, and came away with that victory. So Northside's playing well, and but so are the Cardinals.
So you've seen Northside's offense early on the year. I know you haven't seen it since that game, maybe highlights, or maybe maybe you have watched tape or whatever. Do you think their offense is getting better as the year progresses?
They have to. I mean, they're young.
Yeah.
They had against us. They struggled a little running the ball, and I see they're running the ball better now. So I'm sure they're getting. Yeah,
better. They didn't rush for very many yards against y'all at all, did they? Yeah.
No, I mean, we did a good job. The guys did a good job on that. And that's like I told Kendrick after the game. I mean, hope he loses one game a year.
Like that. More impressive, West Carteret's rally from 13 down in the 4th, or Swansboro letting a 25-12 lead slip away?
Ooh. Well, that's not really impressive.
It's not. Well, it is impressive from one perspective.
Well,
impressively bad.
Well, I will say that,
that
they were up 25-12, and I was impressed by them, having that lead. And like Coach said, I mean, you're trying to figure out how to close those games and try to get that winning mentality. So maybe it'll come the rest of the season or next season, but it probably was a little bit of a tough pill to swallow.
We don't have it up there because we don't really cover West Carteret unless they play local teams. I think they've got Havelock this coming week. I think they do. You think in their mind at the time they were looking past Swan? I mean, I'd hate to say that about Swansboro, but I mean, do you think they were potentially looking past Swansboro to get that slow start? Mm-hmm. Because the week before they had, or you think it was they played Dixon. They didn't get off to a slow start against Dixon.
Yeah.
And Dixon was undefeated going into that game.
Well, their defense got off to a slow.
Well, yeah.
But no, perhaps. I mean,
Yeah.
perhaps that maybe they were overlooking Swansboro, and but I mean, if you're Swansboro, and I said this in a story earlier today, if you're Swansboro, you have some other games that potentially you could knock off.
Yeah.
I mean, you play well against Dixon, play well against Richlands. So I mean, we'll see how the Pirates do, but going back to Havelock, I mean, they are a wounded animal right now. But that's when teams are at their most dangerous, when they have nothing to lose. Bigger
coastal 5A, 6A threat right now. West Carteret 4-1 or Croatan 6-0.
Oh, Croatan.
They play when? They haven't played yet, have they?
They haven't played yet.
So that could be potentially for if things keep going. We got a big game this week.
You got Northside.
Northside. I mean, yeah, you're right. We got Northside this week, and things could change. Last rapid fire. Best coastal 5A, 6A QB right now. McBride for Croatan, Gray from Northside, or someone else.
Man, you are trying to get me in trouble.
Yeah, I'm just asking questions.
I've seen Cannon play soccer. He's a great basketball player. He's a great soccer player and basketball player, great kicker. I've not seen him play in a game situation, play quarterback.
Yeah.
But I've seen Reginald, so I'll give Reginald the edge
right now
because I've not seen Cannon sling the ball under the lights.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's been confirmed, Cannon's going to be here next week, correct? Mm-hmm. Next week, Cannon and his dad or a coach from Croatan are coming to the show and will be the guest on the show next week. So looking forward to that. That'll be a good show. It'll be won't be as good as today, Blake. But
I did promise the Croatan people we'd
feed them too. Okay, yeah. People are led by food, especially big growing young men who tackle and throw and run and stuff like that, and they're coaches who are very svelte in nature. So anyway, all right. This week 6 recap brought to you by SIA Group. For more than 50 years, SIA Group has provided protection beyond insurance, helping families, businesses, and communities preserve what matters most. They believe insurance isn't just about policies, it's about people. That's why SIA Group is committed to supporting local businesses and giving back to the communities they serve. Learn more at siagroup.com/prep report. And I will say this, like I've said this the last 2 or 3 weeks. If you're watching the show now, or if you are happen to catch it later, please go out to siagroup.com/prep report. They're a sponsor of the show. They give us money. They want to justify giving us money, so they've got a little poll about who is your team on that site, and it's really just showing who's listening and who's participating. So siagroup.com/prep report. Trust me, they're sponsoring the show. It benefits the kids, and the coaches come on the show because they get fed. So anyway, so with that said, we're going to transition into talking with Blake and Bo. Joining us today, again, Jacksonville High School senior linebacker Blake Moses, along with Coach Bo Williams. We're going to talk a little bit about Blake's journey, his impact on the Cardinals football team, and what's ahead. And we'll finish this segment by getting some thoughts from Bo. So let's get right in. You ready, bud?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So, Blake, before we really kind of dive in, just tell me a little bit about yourself and your family and what you enjoy doing when you're not playing football.
Well, my dad's from East Duplin, and he went to East Duplin.
Okay.
Yes, and my mom's from Florida. And so I grew up in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Nice.
And my dad is opened the Metro Diner over here.
Okay, good.
So we came down here, and Coach Aldridge is still close with my dad. And my dad asked him where Blake should go, and he said Coach Bo.
Nice.
Jacksonville, yep.
How about that, man?
That works for me.
How about that?
Yes, sir.
So when did you start first playing football, and what made you fall in love with the game?
I played when I was little, all
Okay.
the way up, and just like watching it with my dad, and he used to play a lot. So
Yeah. Did you ever play offense or always defense?
I played tight end when I was little.
Rather
I was always a defensive guy.
rather catch somebody or hit somebody?
Hit somebody.
All right. I like that. So last year, if Mr. Miller's stats are correct, 53 tackles, interception, 2 fumble recoveries. So first of all, off script like I normally do, what was more exciting, getting an interception and running with the ball a little bit, or falling on the fumble? I'm assuming you fell on the fumble and didn't get up and run.
I didn't really run with the ball that much when I intercepted it.
You did?
It was immediately punched the ball out, and I recovered it.
Yeah.
But the fumble recovery was against Williams.
Yeah, during the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think
so that with
absolutely.
Blake had the trifecta last year. Good. He got the pick. The guy fumbled on him. Then he recovered his own fumble.
Nice. The trifecta. He was going for stats.
Yeah,
man.
he was trying to
stat man. So since last year, what part of your game have you worked on the most from last season to the end of last season, or maybe during the season through spring and fall?
Definitely my passing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pass coverage.
Yes,
coverage. Yeah.
And just being overall a good leader and a teammate. I think that no matter if you're a good player or not, if you're a leader and you lead the right guys to the right place, I think no matter what, you're good.
Awesome. So let's are you looking at my questions? Yeah. So as a senior leader, how do you set the tone for the defense on and off the field?
Well, we know anyone can beat us every week, and we just got to work on the little things. And I mean, we go in there thinking that we're the best, and that's how it's got to be if you want to win. Defense sets the tone.
So it's a mentality.
Absolutely.
And I like the fact that you said defense sets the tone. Is that you or is that him?
I think that's everyone.
Good.
We know.
So that's him. If it's everybody, then that's him. And that's a great way. That's a great way to look at it. The offensive guys always get the glory, right? I mean, we spend most of the time. You think at some point in time we'll have a player of the week on the defensive side of the field?
I know.
On the ball. Okay.
I mean, the Richlands kicker could have been player of the week in week 1 after making 4 field goals.
Good point.
As
Good
a
point.
kicker, that's not defense.
As a soccer player.
So you guys are undefeated heading into conference play this week. In your mind, what's been the key to your guys' success so far?
Just playing as a team, playing as one, keeping each other accountable. You know, we have ups and downs, but I think overall we know what we want. Mm-hmm. And last year we were one game away, and I think this year that's been the mindset of like, no one's going to stop us this year.
Okay. So your defense is good. So far, you've been good.
At times.
Don't. Yeah. So better. So what makes this group special? Working together, working hard, working as a unit. I mean, effort. What makes you guys special? Because you are special. He's going to downplay it again. This is not bulletin board material. Nobody in New Bern's watching this, Coach. Trust me. What makes you guys special?
Just work. I think just working together and keeping each other accountable, and definitely how we practice. You practice how you play. So if practice we're slacking off and we're not doing the right things, then it's going to show in the game.
Okay. So you played in some big games. You mentioned the playoff game last year. There's a lot of pressure, man. Right. So how do you handle that pressure? This is Blake. How does Blake Moses handle pressure?
You just listen to your coaches and trust them. I mean, they stay up every day trying to figure out how to win, and if he doesn't know how to do it, then why would I want him as my coach?
Yeah, I think too, and I know this. Your coaches put you in the best possible position to succeed, right?
Absolutely.
So you're prepared. Mm-hmm. We used to. And I'll go back, and all I can do is hearken on my glory days in high school, right? So Coach Savonar came from a small college system, and we were in that dreaded Wallace, Rose Hill, Clinton. James Keenan was actually in that conference at the time because we were in that conference my senior year, and Wallace was the cream of the crop. They beat us during the regular season by I think a touchdown. Back then we didn't have huddle. We had to meet on whatever road to exchange film or do whatever. But we played them again in the second or third round of the playoffs. And the week that Sunday, we weren't obviously supposed to be around there, but Sunday we kind of all just randomly found ourselves up at the school. and Coach handed us this binder, and they had watched so much film, he and the staff, that they had developed. And you got to realize, man, this is '86, right?
Yeah.
They had developed, I would just say, tendencies. So when the Walsh was here, they ran like a wishbone, or they ran, I guess that would be what called 3 backs in the backfield. And they told us, hey man, when the fullback is 2 or 3 yards off the quarterback's ass, it's going to be 1 or 2 plays.
Yeah.
And that's what this book was about. That's what this whole book was about. And I guess, and so when Friday night came and they lined up in a certain formation, we were sitting there looking at everybody and saying, hey, they're going to run this play. They're going to run this play. So, I guess my point, long-winded point is, and we end up beating them that, in the game in advance to the Eastern State Finals like you guys did last year. And, but we were prepared. And all we had to do was execute, but the coaches have put us in the best possible position, to win. So
now I have a question. When you were exchanging film or tape back in '86,
Yeah.
was it VHS or was it the old beta?
dude, I don't even know.
VHS to start with.
It was probably, they did it on tablet. They did it, and I don't mean an iPad tablet. I mean where they stone tablet or whatever. I don't.
70s, and then we're beta.
Yeah.
Was it beta? Okay. Yeah.
And I do want to ask Blake, because we talk, going back to the defense, Blake, you guys really try to push each other, and especially the linebackers and the defensive line. I mean, if you make a good play, that it motivates the other guys, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Like I said, we set the tone. So if we do 4 and out and offense scores the ball, then that should be game right there. No one should ever score on us.
Is Coach kind of lighten up, or is he still hard butt?
He's still hard on us. That's supposed to be as
Expect
a
nothing
coach.
different, man.
Yeah.
So, again, just what does success look like for Blake Moses and Jacksonville High School football this year? Being where you were last year.
Just keep on being a leader and keep on winning games.
Okay. And it's going to shake out where it's going to shake out, right?
Yep.
All right. So let's shift gears a little bit. In addition to playing football, you are a member of the wrestling. So I say this word weird, okay? Wrestling. I say it like WWF, I guess. Wrestling team. You're a member of the wrestling team. How long have you been wrestling, and what weight class you wrestle? Like 165, something like that?
The last 2 years I've been 165, yes, sir.
My brother, I did not wrestle. My brother wrestled that, so I kind of can see. So how long you been wrestling? Just since high school, or did you?
I started 8th grade, and then I've just carried it on. So
All right. Well, you won regionals last year.
2 years in a row, yes, sir.
Oh wow! And by winning regionals, advanced the state. Was it like the top 4 from the East and top 4 from the West, or something like that?
Yep.
Okay, good deal. So,
And shout out to the Jacksonville wrestling team, because was it 2 years in a row you guys regional final as a team, regional finalists?
Yes, sir.
Just ran it with Union Pines.
They're pretty good.
Yeah,
Yep,
really
both
good.
years.
End up winning the state championship this past year.
so like when we were in school, they do team competition and individual, right? Yeah, back then you did your team during the season. When the season ended, or you might send 3 or 4 guys to regionals or whatever, and you might do it like that, but you didn't have a team state champion. You just had individuals. So I think that's cool that they
The team goes first now.
team goes first, and that goes first.
It's like a week and a half or something,
Yeah.
and then they go into the individual.
Okay. So any way that wrestling has helped you with football?
I think they both help me with both in a way, because I no matter what I do, I work hard at it,
Yeah.
and I just think that goes for both sports.
So I know there is a team concept for wrestling, but it's an individual. No one's out there with you when you're going against someone. So do you approach leadership any differently from a wrestling perspective as opposed to
not at all, because in the room you're still practicing and you're still trying to help each other individually, but I wouldn't say I'd change it at all.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, good deal. Back to just a general question: football, wrestling, just biology class, whatever. What's your favorite memory so far wearing the Cardinal red?
Probably beating Havelock after they beat us last year.
Second time. So y'all played them during the regular season, and they beat y'all, and then
Yes,
y'all
sir.
got them in the
Yes,
playoffs.
sir.
All right. So looking beyond high school, what are Blake Moses' plans for the future?
Well, I wanna go play football in college
Okay.
if that's an option. But we're focusing on.
So
What
you
we gotta do now.
okay? So football over wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yes,
Now in 3 months, when football season's over and you're wrestling, it's not going to be wrestling over football.
No.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Good deal. Good deal.
He does whatever sport he's in
Yeah,
to
at the
100%.
time.
100%, 150%
So
probably.
it doesn't matter if it's wrestling or, I mean, he says it's not, but when he's wrestling is his favorite.
Yeah.
Because he gives everything to the
You got to be
team.
focused on
Yep.
that.
He
that
gives
time.
it
I
all
get
to that team.
But ultimately, if you go to college and play athletics,
I
you
wanna
want to
play football. Yes, sir.
Okay. If you could leave one message for the underclassmen at Jacksonville High School in the Jacksonville High School football program, what would that be?
Just listen to your coaches and hold each other accountable.
Nice. Rapid fire now. These are rapid fire for Blake. What do you enjoy more, a sack on the quarterback or a pin in
A
wrestling?
sack on the quarterback.
All right. More satisfying, forcing a fumble or recovering one?
Forcing.
Good. I like that. Pre-game football, music in the locker room or on your headphones or quiet focus?
I listen to music.
Okay. What do you listen to? Last week, so for the record, last week we had Josh Smith, and I asked this question, and Chris and Coach Bird laughed. Evidently, who was it? It was Josh was Fantasia or something like that, and it was a song by, I don't even know who. I had to Google it, and when later on my son watched the show and my daughter watched the show, and they text me Dad, you don't know who Fantasia is? No, I don't. So do you know who Fantasia is? Okay.
Wait, do you know who Bad Bunny is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you, I'm sure that's good. And I have nothing against our Latino American folks, but he's a Spanish. I'd like somebody, why not throw a little country artist in there or something? Anyway, so what are you listening to on your headphones?
Well, right before when we're done eating, me and my teammate, we listen to Adele, just me and him, as
Okay.
a kind of like a thing
ritual
we've got going
kind of
on.
prep
Yep.
thing?
And then
Okay.
right before the game, I just hype rap music.
All right. So favorite post-game meal, not pre-game, but post-game. What do you like to eat afterwards?
Post-game meal?
Dad bring home food from Metro Diner?
No,
They got some
they're
good
closed.
grub at Metro Diner, by the way.
Yeah. Usually, if it's a home game, we'll go to Chili's and get a triple dipper.
All right. Good deal. Biggest influence on your football career? I think I know who this is.
Coach Bell.
Coach, okay. I was going to say your dad or Coach Bo. A teammate that doesn't always get the spotlight, but has been really important so far to you guys this season. And I know there's probably several, and I know you hate to probably pick one, and I'm putting you on the spot. But, a lot of the offensive guys are getting, their props because they've scored the touchdowns, and Miller likes writing about offense. I'm a defensive guy, and I'm not saying this is a defensive guy, but so somebody's kind of under the radar for your team that most folks don't know about, don't hear about.
I'd say Quinn Xavier.
And what position?
He plays D-line.
Okay, good deal. Most formidable opponent that you guys have that you think you faced in your career to date?
Every one of them.
Every one of them. Okay, I like that. Go-to wrestling move for a pin.
I do a cradle.
Okay, nice. Which is tougher, grinding through a wrestling match or playing 4 quarters at linebacker?
4 quarters of linebacker.
Hidden talent outside of football and wrestling. Do you sing Adele? Or what's a hidden talent?
I cook.
You cook? Okay,
Yeah.
good deal. What's your favorite meal to cook?
I like Marry Me pasta with chicken. I cook with my mom.
Good deal. One
Smells
word.
good too because he had to get it for lunch.
Does he get for lunch?
yesterday.
Yeah. One word that sums up being a Jacksonville Cardinal. Just one word.
Amazing.
Awesome. Dude. That's
a good boy.
That's money. All right, Coach, real quick. Blake's been a key piece on the defense the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
How have you seen him grow as a player during this time?
Well, he always wants to get better at every part of it. So him being more physical this year than he was last year because he thought that was a weakness to his pass coverage. I mean, he should have had a pick this year, but it went through his hands. But I mean,
That's why he's playing defense.
Yeah,
That's why
he's done a heck of a job, and he continues to grow and get better each week.
Awesome. So beyond the stats, what does Blake bring to this team in terms of leadership and energy?
Well, he's a vocal leader as far as a physical leader. So he gets after it. At the same time, he's vocal with it. And then just physicality helps bring that to the guys.
Okay. Can you think of one play or one moment over the past couple of years where Blake's impact really stood out to you?
That's kind of hard.
Yeah, I'm sure as a standout defensive player, there's probably, I mean, he probably does things every game.
To me, I think it would be for his dad, really. The East Duplin game,
yeah,
he had like 8 tackles, 2 sacks, and like 3 tackles for loss in his dad's place.
So you like Jack? Were you Jack for that game?
Yeah, I couldn't go home because that's all Dad was talking about, so I had to stay away from him.
Did you?
Keep my head right. Yep.
So after y'all whooped them, after you beat them, I have to talk like a host, right? After you beat them, did you go home and rub it in on on your dad a little bit?
I mean, yeah, of course I did, but for him it was a win-win no matter what happened.
Yeah. I mean, he was. I mean,
he was on cloud 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know why your dad was on cloud 9? Because he likes East Duplin, but he loves you.
Exactly.
And he was able to. If he ever went back to, I don't know if you still got family, if your grandma or anybody, or if you got anybody family that lives in Beulaville, but when your dad rolls through there, and he sees them at the Bojangles or sees them at the gas station on the right, trust me, he's standing a little bit taller because y'all whooped up on him. I know that for a fact because I know that's how my dad was. As a senior, how is Blake helping mentor the younger linebackers and underclassmen on defense?
Basically by being, like we already talked about, a vocal leader as well as physical on everything in the weight room to the practice field, always being one of the first ones, motivating those other guys and telling them it's their turn.
So he leads by example.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Last question. When you think of Blake's football career at Jacksonville, what's the first word or trait that comes to mind?
There's a couple. I'd say physicality and also accountability.
Physicality and accountability.
I mean, that's from wrestling to everything. He's always going to do everything as hard as he can, and you can guarantee he's not going to quit.
And I heard through the grapevine, I forget who it was. You like to lift weights, don't you?
Yep.
You're pretty strong, I heard. Yeah, that's what I think it was Bird. Mm-hmm. Bird that was telling me about it. I was talking to him last week, and we told him that Blake was coming on. And you bench you throw up how much on the bench?
Well,
what was it? Bird told me something that was pretty impressive, and I was like, yeah, I could do that if you let me do it 3 times and add them together, maybe. What?
I mean, it's 335, 345 bench press.
Okay.
How much you bench press?
Now?
Yeah.
3 or 4 ounces or whatever. Man, it's really changed a lot. When we were in school, or maybe it was just me, maybe it was just at White Oak or whatever, lifting weights just wasn't, in the mid-80s, it just wasn't part of, I think maybe, when I went up to Carolina and was going to walk on, I think I was maybe doing 285, maybe 290, maybe.
And you remember the days, August 1st was truly the first
well,
day.
and that's what's really changed about it. And honestly, I think it's changed for the better is that, now you got 7 on 7. I mean, you get together in the spring.
Awesome.
And just there's more opportunities to get together. So, maybe 285 at the max. Mm-hmm. And I was quick though. No, I'm just joking. I was never quick. So anyway, that's all the questions I have for Blake and for Bo. Do you have anything?
We did ask Josh Smith last week about the color red. So we want to ask Blake if you have any green shirts?
Yeah. Do you own any green shirts?
Yes, sir.
And you wear them proudly?
Yeah. I mean, it's just
okay.
my clothes.
Okay. I like it, man. I like it. That's cool.
Yeah. But I did want to ask Blake, and I've asked a couple of the guys this early in the season. We all knew how great last year's team was with Juju and some of those other guys. Just talk about how this team's identity Is that something y'all took personal? Hey, let's try to create our own identity and kind of leave our own mark this year. Was that important to you guys?
Well, I think with anyone, if you just tell them that they're not going to be something because of last year's team, that kind of sparks a fire in them. Mm-hmm. So I think that's exactly what happened this year.
Coach, same thing. I mean, you and I talked about that multiple times. Have these guys done a good job trying to, not compare themselves, but kind of make their own mark?
Yeah, I mean, it's their turn, so that's their job. Go try to be better than that group that was before them. I think that's everywhere, though.
So we've been getting a lot of really good comments. I wanted to say that folks are duly impressed, man. They're really impressed with Blake, and they a lot of just really good things to say about you guys. I haven't been following them, but I'm kind of learning a little bit about this software and stuff. I can click on here, and it'll show the comment up on the screen. How about that? That's pretty cool.
You getting it, man?
Dude, high tech redneck, man. Hey, so Joy says, agree with you, Steve. In all sports, weightlifting helps. So yeah.
But Friday we got the Bowl.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, listen, I appreciate it, guys. I know y'all got to run. I'm going to give a little commercial spot real quick, and then we'll transition. I know you guys have to run, but before I do this, I want to tell you guys, thank you for coming so much, man.
No
I know, I appreciate it. Good luck Friday night.
Yes, sir.
I'm heading up to Raleigh, or I would go to a game, but I'm heading to Raleigh to get up early the next day to go see Ludacris, at the Carolina game before Carolina plays Clemson. So anyway, this week's special guest is brought to you by Moore Buick Pontiac GMC. Well, Moore Buick is more than just selling cars. It's about serving our community. Right here in Jacksonville, Charles Williamson and his folks are proud to support local schools, charities, and events while helping families find the perfect Buick or GMC to fit their lives. From rugged GMC trucks to luxurious Buick SUVs, you'll find a wide selection backed by friendly service you can trust. Whether you're buying, leasing, or servicing your vehicle, you'll always be treated like family. More Buick GMC, driven by community, powered by trust. Visit them today at their location on Western Boulevard in Jacksonville or online at morebuickgmc.com. So that's it for that. We're going to do a little rotation real quick. Coach, thank you again so much.
Thank you for all y'all do.
Thank you, man.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, good to have you, man.
Good luck to you guys now, the rest of the season. If you want to, while we're doing this, if you want to get a to-go plate and get some more, because I know I saw what you ate before. That can't be enough. So y'all can do that. And if you want to, do you want to transition over here?
Yep, I'll get on that.
And good to see you guys. Buddy.
Yes, sir. Thanks for everything y'all do for the sports.
Absolutely. Thank you. So as we're transitioning, I'm going to just go over Joy Likens says, go Cards. Just want to acknowledge these folks. Rayford Brown said go Cards earlier. We missed that one. So we appreciate these comments, guys. These are great, and I'll try to do better next time recognizing these comments. Boyd early on, of course, said go Cards. So good segment. Great kid. So
and I knew when I asked him after the East Duplin game if he was interested that Blake would say the right things and be a good guest. So I think I think we're doing good. Getting these kids on there.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And like I said, next week we've got Cannon coming on next week. McBride from Croatan. So that will be. My mic's doing something funny. Can we hear me? Okay. My mic was cutting in and out. So we've got Cannon McBride coming in next week, and we'll talk to him, and we might potentially be talking to him when they're 7-0.
Yeah, possibly. That's a big game Friday night against Northside. So yeah. I'll be there, and very interesting to see how the how the Cougars come off that the win over Havelock. Northside's going to be motivated, and so we'll I think it's going to be a fun game, and it's homecoming for Croatan.
All right. Well, let's get into the picks this week and the predictions. So we're going to start with Jacksonville 4-0, first opening up conference against New Bern. They're 3-2. Question: can Jacksonville's defense create enough pressure on Terrence McCormick to slow down the New Bern passing attack?
I think they can. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think the Cardinals understand it's not going to be easy. New Bern's a good team. I mean, they're 3-2. They got beat pretty bad in their last two games. That first loss, they didn't have their head coach following a little situation after they beat West Craven. He was not able to coach for a game, so I'm sure that had something to do with it. But in years past, and in recent years, New Bern's been a run-oriented team, but now they're slinging the ball, and they have a good quarterback that McCormick can throw the ball pretty well. But Jacksonville's going to have to play well. It is going to be a good game, a competitive game. It's not going to be a blowout, but Jacksonville will definitely need to apply some pressure and make sure those the quarterback and receivers don't have time.
Okay. Southwest 0-4, opening conference play against East Duplin 3-2. Question: which matters more in this game, East Duplin's balance or Southwest's urgency to get that first win?
I think Southwest's urgency, and I have talked to a couple Southwest people. They have installed some different nuances to their offense that they're hoping is going to pay off Friday night. So that's what they did last week during their open week. So I'm interested to see how those improvements will go into the East Duplin game. But East Duplin had an open date last week as well, following the loss to Jacksonville. I think I still give the Panthers the edge to win that conference. I think they're just too dang good to not win that conference. And if East Duplin plays well, I think it could be. It won't be a 49-point game, but I think East Duplin has a chance to win by at least 3 touchdowns.
Joy says, "I think not. New Bern has been working hard on defense and passing." So we've got a New Bern fan out there.
Okay.
That's nice. I love it.
Didn't you just say New Bern people?
I know. No New Bern people are watching. How about that? But Joy actually lives in Jacksonville. Her son, her grandson goes to New Bern and plays basketball. Good little basketball player. Swansboro 2-4 overall, 0-2 in conference against Dixon 4-1 and 0-1 in conference. Question: will Swansboro's ability to score early put pressure on Dixon to throw the ball more, you think?
No, I think Dixon is okay not throwing the ball at all. And
sticking with their game plan.
Stick with it. And even if they're down 7-0 or 14-0, whatever, Dixon's going to continue running the ball. That is what they do. And, they'll throw in a pass every now and then to keep the defense honest when the defense at least expects one. But Dixon is going to they're going to do what they do best, which is run the ball out of that, single wing offense and try to get JJ Galat, involved and along with Sean Delaney. So, they could be down 21-0. They're still going to run the ball.
Still going to run the ball. Okay. White Oak 4-1 at DH Conley 3-2. Mm-hmm. Which will matter more in this matchup? White Oak's resilience in close games or Conley's offensive firepower?
I would say White Oak's being resilient. They have shown to be a resilient bunch, especially against Kinston. We talked to Coach Bird last week about that. Look, it's going to be tough against Conley. This is and even Coach Bird Jonathan Bird for White Oak has told me this in the summertime. Until we prove we can beat these teams, we are going to be the underdog. So White Oak was picked second to last to finish in the conference by the coaches, but a win over Conley would go a long way to kind of show how good White Oak really is. So again, I don't think this is going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a competitive game, the Viking Bowl. But if White Oak will have to play well and maybe weather a couple storms by DH Conley, but I think White Oak does have a chance to win if they do well, if they play well. Yeah.
And White Oak was, you said, picked next to last. It was them and South Central?
South Central.
South Central. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, last game matchup before the game of the week. Liberty Christian 3-2 at Community Christian 6-2. Mm-hmm. Question: can Liberty Christian finish strong in the fourth quarter after letting the last matchup that they had with Community Christian slip away late?
I believe they can. I think they are a little bummed that they weren't able to get that game in last week, and we told you about the circumstances before and after. So they're a little bit bummed about that, but they're a confident bunch. I've communicated with Coach Richmond multiple times the last week or so, and they feel that they have a shot of winning the rest of their games and even playing for their conference title game.
Okay.
So they feel good, but they're going to have to take care of business Friday night.
All right. And Joy will make sure she wants to clarify that she is a Cardinal at heart always, even though her grandson goes to New Bern, that she is a Cardinal at heart. So, all right. So that leads into the game of the week, and this is we've prepped it, we've talked about it, but the game of the week: Northside 4-1, 1-0 in conference at Croatan, 6-0, 2-0 in conference. Every week, Croatan's playing a big game. That's that conference, right? Two of the area's best quarterbacks. We talked a little bit about that. Croatan's Cannon McBride and Northside's Reginald Gray III. One key to the game for Croatan: establish the run and ball control. We talk about the quarterback, but the best way, Coach always told me, the best defense for an offense is to keep the offense off the field. So, despite Cannon being a standout quarterback, the Croatan's gonna want to try to run Boucher and others, right?
Yeah, and Northside is the first team that Croatan has faced all year with the winning record.
Okay.
So this is obviously they're going to be their toughest game. And I do give Northside the edge. I mean, I think Northside, is no slouch. I mean, Northside is pretty dang good, and
legit.
And again, I'll admit I haven't seen Croatan yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they play Friday night. The win over Havelock, finding a way to win, it does okay. Croatan is decent, but again, we just don't know how much Havelock is struggling and how young they really are. So until I really see Croatan and see how good they are, it's there is still going to be going to be some question marks. Like I said, Northside is the first team with the winning record that they have faced all year.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. Yeah.
And Northside is battle tested, playing Jacksonville. They did play Topsail, which doesn't have a win, but you do have New Hanover and you have White Oak. So they
played some big games.
They played some big games and emotional games.
Bigger game, and again, not to diminish, they played because you play who's on your schedule, but they played some bigger games thus far. The bigger games in Croatan.
Yeah, and even if you look at last year, Northside, when all those guys like Gavin Davis were sophomores and juniors, even freshmen in some cases, those guys were kind of taking their lumps against the New Hanovers and the Laneys and the Jacksonvilles and against all these really great programs. So they're battle tested.
Okay, back to the keys of the game here. And by the way, my apologies. Game of the week, obviously, Northside Croatan, and it is brought to us, obviously, by Billy Sewell and the folks at Golden Corral. And, Billy, we appreciate your support, man. We appreciate the food we just had for lunch. Second key to the game for Northside, establish early control with big plays.
Yeah.
Self-explanatory. They've gotten off to quick starts. Mm-hmm. Not just what I find interesting is they've gotten off to quick starts, not just offensively but defensively. And special teams.
Yeah.
We talk about kickoff returns and safeties and stuff like that. So obviously getting off to a quick start and taking control of the game, that's key for Northside.
Well, because I think Northside is the favorite going into this game, and so as the favorite, you want to establish that early control. Defensively, if they start the game defensively, you want to try to get a 3-and-out and get field position right away, and then take advantage with the touchdown, and just try to put some doubt in the Croatan's mind early on, saying, okay, well, how good are we really? And then kind of go from there. So if you're Croatan, you want to try to punch Northside in the mouth early.
And that was going to be my question for you. You anticipated my question. So has up until last week, and again, we don't know because we don't know how good Havelock is, but let's just say Havelock is good. They're just running into this gauntlet of a schedule. But up until last week, Croatan has yet to be punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
What Mike Tyson's phrase, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face or whatever. So Northside, so key for Northside coming out and just punching them in the face and setting the tone and going from there.
Yeah. So, I mean, kudos to Croatan because you were down 7-0 at halftime to Havelock, and then you made adjustments and you tied the game pretty early in the third quarter, and then it was a defensive slugfest the rest of the way, and then you score late in the third, and then get a couple of defensive stops. So look, Croatan's going to go into this game pretty confident. Again, they're at home; it's their homecoming. And they want nothing more than try to get a homecoming win over Northside, and basically, essentially win the conference on Friday night. So, again, if you're Croatan and I think we can all agree they are the underdog. And that's not throwing shade against Croatan. I think even the Croatan people could say that they're the underdog. You want to slow down Northside's offense. You don't necessarily have to get a 3 and out, but make them work for it, or make them have maybe a 4, 5, 6 play drive that they end up punting. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or even go a couple drives without giving up points and create that doubt in Northside's mind, saying, "Oh, okay, well, Croatan came to play." So a lot of it's just mental. The Croatan kids are athletic; they're strong. The Northside kids are going to be really athletic. So. I do give Northside the edge. I think maybe they'll score late to win by 20 by 2 scores.
And we're going to get to your predictions real quick. You were talking about just let's just talk about series. So Northside leads the series overwhelmingly 17-1. Cougars only win coming back in 2001. I think that was the first year they played 35-0. Last bit, a little just tidbit: Coastal 5A 6A conference title. Likely to be the winner of this game. So just like you were saying, a couple questions about more before we get to your prediction. Which QB will have the bigger impact, McBride or Gray?
I would just say Gray because, like I said earlier, as he goes, Northside's offense goes.
Yeah. And which side will be the bigger difference maker? Croatan's physical running game or Northside's explosive big play offense?
Can you say both? Because, because I think Croatan's going to have to be very physical and neutralize Northside's athletes, not give up those big plays, and again, like we talked about a minute ago, make Northside kind of earn it and sweat it out a little bit. So Northside's going to have to pop the Monarchs in the mouth pretty early and often, and maybe establish an offensive, a running game to keep the Monarchs off the field.
All right. So let's go to your prediction now. You kind of revealed it a little bit earlier, but you're predicting Northside 28, Croatan 17, and potentially it being a little bit closer than that until maybe the fourth quarter, right near the end of the game.
Yeah, because people forget. I mean, McBride is, like I said, a good soccer player, good basketball player, good quarterback, but he's been an all-area kicker the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So he can kick that ball pretty far, and so I think they have a chance to kick a couple field goals if to keep the game close. So I think maybe 21-17 in the fourth quarter, and then maybe Northside scores late to put the game away.
So 28-17 is your prediction. The game of the week, again, brought to you by our friends Billy Sewell and Golden Corral. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone. Dig into Golden Corral's famous buffet with mouth-watering wings and boneless wings in a variety of flavors. Save room for 20 bakery and dessert selections, from chocolate and carrot cake to apple pie and their legendary banana pudding. Start your morning with breakfast at 7:30, brunch at 10, and dinner featuring carved meats at 4. And for seniors like myself, you can enjoy the early bird buffet with a beverage at 1. Need to feed a crowd? They cater from 10 to 1,000 guests. Dine in, take out, drive through, or delivery. It's all at Golden Corral. Voted Jacksonville's #1 buffet for 10 years running by the Daily News Best of the Best. Call 910-455-3773. That's 910-455-3773, or visit goldencorral.com today. Want to go back? Not back. Well, we're going to look at your other predictions for this week. So we talked about these games. So you do have New Bern 28, Jacksonville 21, East Duplin 33, Southwest 14. So that keeps Southwest at 0-5 5 or 6, whatever. Dixon 42, Swansboro 28. Conley edging out White Oak by a touchdown, 21-14, and Community Christian beating Liberty 32-24. So any more thoughts about any of that?
In any other time, New Bern Jacksonville would have been the game of the week, and
I was thinking that anytime, because that's a big, for it to be an out of county game. And honestly, up until the last 5 or 6 years, they haven't been in the same conference. But that's just a big rivalry. So that would have been like you're getting ready to say. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that would normally be the game of the week. But with this going on,
well, I mean, you will get a chance to see how good Jacksonville is. They did have an open date last week, and so they'll be able to rest and fix some of the mistakes that they've been making. And but if Jacksonville finds a way to win, then okay, you can well, maybe Jacksonville has a chance to win that conference. I had Jacksonville finish 7-2. Going into the season, losing to New Bern and losing to J.H. Rose.
Okay.
So, not to jinx it, Jacksonville did win at New Bern last year. Scored pretty late, and then scored a defensive touchdown, kind of in the waiting seconds or something like that. So, I'm sure the Cardinals are hoping to avoid what happened last year. On their way to New Bern last year, the bus broke down.
Oh wow, yeah, I think I do recall that. We didn't plan this. Bo and them had to leave. Bo, if you watch this later and you see the predictions, in the 2 Men and the 6 Pack podcast, we picked Sunday night. I picked you guys to win. So this is strictly Miller's pick. I hope Miller's wrong. But Chris does a great job. I mean, he does a great job. With these picks, and it's just his assessment of how things shake out.
And the coaches and the players, they have fun with it.
Oh, absolutely.
Nobody's really crossed the line. They have fun with it. And that's what it's all about. If it motivates, if it lights a little fire, then hey, that's awesome.
So be it. All right, rapid fire. Let's move into rapid fire. Bigger QB showdown: McBride versus Gray, or Jacksonville's defense versus McCormick and the New Bern passing game?
I'll say Gray versus McBride.
Okay. More dangerous offense right now: Dixon's rushing attack or Northside's big play passing attack?
That is a tough one. I would just say Dixon, because it's so hard to prepare for it.
Okay. Who accounts for more TDs this week: McBride, Gray, JJ, or other?
That is I would say JJ, just because the other games are going to be pretty competitive. I think Dixon has a chance to have a lot of offensive success against Swansboro.
Okay. Which team do you trust more, or the most, however you want to say it, heading into the final month of the season? Jacksonville, Croatan, Northside, or East Duplin? Considering, and I will add a caveat to this, considering this conference schedule and moving forward, who do you trust more?
East Duplin. I think East Duplin finishes the rest of the way.
And that's mainly because of their conference schedule.
Yeah, mainly conference.
Yeah. All right. Who creates more turnovers on Friday? The Vikings of White Oak or the Vikings of D.H. Conley?
Ooh.
More turnovers.
I'm going to go with the Piney Green Vikings.
All right. Which team needs a fast start the most for the game Friday night? Southwest, Liberty Christian, or Swansboro?
That is Southwest.
Southwest. Okay. Hardest hitter you have seen so far this year?
That is a tough one. I would say quite a few of the Jacksonville guys.
Okay.
Blake mentioned Quentin, who had a big game against East Duplin a couple weeks ago, but those Jacksonville boys.
Boys.
Yeah. Well, and then
they bring the wood.
And then Yandez Baker had that big hit against Gavin when Gavin scored that touchdown a few weeks ago for Northside. So and credit him for holding on to that ball, but it was a pop.
Yeah. All right. Does any player rush for more than 250 yards this week?
I can see JJ. I can see JJ. I don't really see anybody else doing it, just because Jacksonville has quite a few different players. Yeah. East Duplin has 2 or 3 different guys. So
and Josh is going. I mean, Josh Smith is going. I mean, he's had a fairly good year, and so is the running back
Montez Jimenez. Montez is good. So I don't see anybody rushing for over 200, maybe around 200, over 100. But I think JJ has the best chance because
the matchup.
Okay.
Does any quarterback throw for more than 225 yards? Not 250, 225 yards. Last week, Gray threw for 210. Yeah. So any quarterback going to go for 225?
I could see Gray, Reginald. I can see him doing it. Potential. I mean, if it's a back and forth game, and we've seen those games where one team scores, the other team scores, maybe Cannon will have a chance to do it. If it's just a back and forth, neither defense shows up. But I would say, Reginald.
Okay. Most underrated player you have seen so far this year?
Oh, that is a tough one. Let me think about that for a second.
All right. We'll come back. We'll come back to that one. Best atmosphere you have covered this season. Best football atmosphere you've covered this season.
It is always fun going to East Duplin.
Is it?
It is always fun. For one, when you talk about 7 o'clock starts, they are very prompt. They'll even start their games at 6:58, 6:59. Very prompt. Just the atmosphere. I mean, the way the field's set up. It's just fun to be at an East Duplin football game. The great atmosphere against Jacksonville a couple weeks ago. So, but when it's a big game at Jacksonville and the student sections are there, that's a fun situation too.
Lady Blue, North Carolina said you just jinxed us. She's a Jacksonville. You know her. What her name is? What's her? She's on Rayford's show. Yeah. So you said something probably about Jacksonville that she says you've jinxed them. I'm not sure what you said. Fun question here. Not that the other ones aren't. Which school has the best concession stand food?
No, that is a tough. To be honest,
Croatan's got good food.
Croatan.
Does any high school have Chick-fil-A at their?
Every now and then they'll have Chick-fil-A, but like East Duplin and Croatan will have homemade stuff.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, which is really good. Southwest will have homemade stuff too. So Southwest has the Stallion Cafe, that they promote. So they do a good job, selling that stuff. But I would say either East Duplin or Croatan.
Yeah. Lee's her name.
Yeah, Lee. Yep.
Joy told us Lee's her name. Which team right now? And I don't know if this is a good thing because I could be peaking too early. Which team right now looks playoff ready?
Which team right now looks playoff ready? Ooh, that is a tough one. I would say Jacksonville.
Okay. What's been the biggest storyline of the season so far to date?
I would say Croatan being 6-0.
6-0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like I said, we knew that maybe they had a chance to be competitive, but again, they still have some questions. But I mean, 6-0 is 6-0, and so you play who's on your schedule.
What's the do you happen to know what's the history or whatever? What's the most wins that they've ever had a season?
10-3. So about 10, 11, 12 years ago, around that time, them, East Duplin, and Northside all shared the conference title.
That's right. Okay.
So Croatan had a guy named Sam Nay, who was actually our player of the year for the area that year.
He was a running back.
Yeah,
I remember that kid.
Little guy but bulky.
Yeah.
They beat East Duplin in the regular season, and then Northside beat Croatan, but then East Duplin beat Northside, so they all finished 4-1, 5-1 in the conference, and then East Duplin came back and beat them in the second round of the playoffs. So, but Croatan went 10-3 that year, and then shared. But during the spring 21 season, Croatan went 7-2. Won a conference championship and went to the second round, which was theoretically the third round of the playoffs.
So they got some work. Not that they can't, but they've got some work to do if they're looking. Not that starting 6-0 and moving forward, isn't a historical for them, but if they want to match, do things that other teams have not done in Croatan history, they've still got to win a few more games.
Yeah, right. And you asked about underrated players that I was
going to come back to that. So you got somebody?
Well, I would say a group of players is Jacksonville's offensive line, because when those guys are playing well, and a lot of those guys are they graduated a few guys from that line last year. So if Jacksonville's offensive line plays well and it does what it's supposed to, then those guys can Anthony Washington and the Amaris can do what they need to do. So I know I'm probably taking the weasel way out, but I would say Jacksonville's offensive line.
Okay, that's good. Good deal. That's you answered the question.
Yeah.
So anything else for the masses?
Big
Friday night.
Big Friday night.
A lot of football.
Just
a lot of stuff will be revealed Friday night. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how with conference play. I know some schools opened up conference play last week, but we got the bulk of the teams getting into conference play this week, and not that the other games weren't important, but we're going to see where it shakes out now, right?
Yeah, Murphy's Law, though, last week we only had, 3 games being played, and still didn't get done with work till about 1:30.
How about that?
Just when you think it's going to be an easy night.
And you said that Wednesday of when we got off the air, or maybe between Wednesday and Friday, you told me that. You said 3 games, but watch me go late into the night, and you said that.
Well, because the Lightning Northside game didn't start till about 7:10.
Okay.
And then so that kind of slowed things down a little bit. So I'm gonna reverse jinx it. I'm gonna be done with work by 12:30.
Nice. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for Downeast Prep Report today with Chris Miller. Brought to you by Marine Federal Credit Union. A big thank you to today our special guest, Jacksonville High School senior linebacker Blake Moses and head coach Bo Williams. Great conversation. He's a great kid. And, of course, big thanks to you, Chris, for breaking down the matchups. And now to the audience. If you're enjoying watching this show, whether you're watching it live or you're watching it taped, and whether you're watching it on Facebook or you're watching it on YouTube, I just encourage you to, if you're watching it on Facebook, Man Cave Media has got a Facebook page. Just type in Man Cave Media, and you'll see the logo that's on the screen. Well, you'll see it at some point in time. That's been on the screen, and just follow us there. Or you're watching this because you're either following it there or you're following Steve Goodson. If you would prefer to watch it, or if you watch it on YouTube, we'd love for you to watch it on YouTube. We just have a lot more flexibility on YouTube. We would encourage you to go to Man Cave Media NC. Just type that in the search, Man Cave Media NC, and then subscribe to the show. There's a subscribe button when you go to the page. Just hit the subscribe button, and you'll be notified when the show's hit. Also, just want to just really quickly, we posted something on Facebook this past week. We got some Man Cave Media T-shirts. They have been a tremendous success. They've got the logo on the front, and then they've got the shows that we produce on the back, including this show and 2 Men to Six Pack, and then a leadership podcast that's an audio podcast that I produce from my years of working in the electric utility industry, and just folks that I've come in contact with in that business. But anyway, T-shirts, $19 a piece, all sizes. We're going to take orders through Friday of this week. If you're interested in getting a T-shirt, just reach out to me, and we'll get you a T-shirt. We'll figure out about the payment method later, but they're $19. That's all sizes, and that's tax included. We've had about 10 or 12 orders of them already, so I'm ready to shoot Michael Lazari Jr. some business on Friday. But anyway, thanks again to the show's sponsor, Marine Federal Credit Union, where you're more than just a member. You're part of a community. Visit marinefederal.org to learn more and discover how Marine Federal Credit Union can help you build a better financial future. Same time, same location next week, and we'll have a full recap of this week's actions, and we'll have a Player of the Week again, brought to you by Downeast Heating and Air Conditioning and Jason Humphrey, and we'll preview Week 8 matchups, including our Golden Corral Game of the Week. We're getting into it, man. I mean, we're getting, a month left in the season and then playoffs.
I mean, can you believe it?
Nah, it's gone by
next
fast.
thing you know, we're going to start talking about basketball.
How about that? So, so thanks again to all our sponsors, and I mentioned them, and then of course I'll mention SIA Group, and I will mention Moore Buick GMC again. So for Chris Miller, I'm Steve Goodson, and thank you for listening, and we'll see you Friday night under the lights.